Yes, so good morning and waiting you catch me where they talk now. Build yourself. Because person will no build himself. You know if you build house, and if you build house, no be better house you go build. You have to build yourself first so that you can be able to build or own a good property. Part of the building where you need for yourself now information. Because information are true. A veritable instrument and a vital key. So that's why we place this program for ground what they call Property Matter with Enginner Debo. Who go take the build you. You go dey solid onto wetin? Onto how to own, buy, even sell property. Good morning, our builder.
Builder now.
Yes,
Good morning.
I need a builder also so that I no go
morning.
Crack.
You don't give me so many titles where you say I don't tire. And I mean, now only me be architect, now only me be engineer, now only me be barista. Even
now
sometimes.
You're a builder
now I'm a builder.
Yeah,
wow,
builder Debo.
man. I'm just it.
You're
man.
doing a great job. You're building us. You're helping us. So, most definitely, the last time we talk about why you never become landlord
and yes, waiting you did, waiting cause am. You know, that's what we've been talking about.
And we enumerated we enumerated very many reasons where people
well, a few callers called in, if you recall.
Of course.
You mentioned the issue of Omonile. You repeated it and repeated it and repeated it, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just want to tell our viewers, thank you for always joining us and tuning in. We so much appreciate you. I would love to encourage you that if this is your first time of discovering this program on WAP TV, you probably have missed a lot and you have some catching up to do. So what you do is rush to the YouTube channel after this episode, rub to the YouTube channel of WAP TV, check out Property Matter, and go through all our past episodes. Tons and tons of information for your benefit are there waiting for you. So, like Chief said, we are continuing today, and I will call on and appeal to our viewers again. If you are a landlord, if you are a tenant, you need to call in and participate in this. Why have you not become a landlord? Okay, why? I mean, why have you not? Why are you not a landlord yet? Okay, and what are you doing about it? What are you going to do about it, or what are you doing about it? We want to really listen to you. Chief, the last time you mentioned the issue of Omonile a lot.
Omonile.
You know, there are so many.
We mentioned distance.
They play so many pranks. Yeah. Then some reasons people give themselves distance. This place is too far and all of that. Yeah. And like I always say, you know, there is no place that is far. No place. I would repeat it again. You see, the most important thing for you when talking about property acquisition is what can you afford? That's it. What can you afford? We had a session in my office last week. You know, somebody came to talk to a group of people that we normally put together. And he was talking about his village. Well, you may say it's not so much of a village, Ilesha. He was talking about Ilesha. No.
But it's not. I've been there.
Ilesha will not say.
It's not. It's a very developed place.
Yes,
when we went to bury Baba Salah, you understand? I went around the town.
From Ujesha.
Yes, I went around the town and very developed place.
No,
very
it is
developed.
Actually. It is.
Modern buildings and everything.
Yeah, it is to an extent. Yeah, and the man was telling us about an investment he made in his village. He said, I've forgotten the year he said he bought that property for. Said he bought 3 plots for probably maybe 300,000 naira each or so, and that right now some millions of naira is the worth.
Like how many years ago?
That's what I said. I've forgotten.
But reasonably 10-15 years, maybe within that.
Probably around 10-15 years ago. Now millions of naira now. Somebody will say, really?
Possible.
In Ilesha, really?
Million.
I tell people that, look, property appreciates anywhere. So what you need to ask yourself is, what can I afford? And go to where you can afford and buy. Either buying at once or buying in installments. Whatever you can afford that has the most prospect. Just look at the areas you can afford, what you can afford, and the one that has the most prospect among those places. That's where you should put your money in.
Sure. Especially
when it is for investment. When it is investment that you are making, all your consideration should be the returns. Don't talk about, some people will tell you, and the place is waterlogged. This place is, I just laugh. I say, these people don't know jack. I've seen people buy plot of water. You can't call it land.
But Enginner Debo, is it advisable? I think it's because they are rich.
Wait.
They get the money to throw cement inside.
No, wait. It's not that they are rich. I will repeat it again. I talk about what you can afford.
But waterlogged, is it affordable? Is it advisable for a
what you can afford?
Oh,
why not? If they can afford it, that's what I'm saying.
Today you use a German floor.
Whatever you can do, I mean, you will do. Once you can afford it,
okay.
The returns that will come in those places also are not. I mean, okay.
It's not child's
take
play.
Eco-Atlantic City project, for example.
Sure.
They are reclaiming land from the Atlantic Ocean. Is the most expensive piece of real estate in Nigeria today.
Not even in Lagos.
What are you saying? In Nigeria, if not in Africa. Do you understand? So if somebody can afford that, do you know the projections in that kind of environment, the kind of returns it will bring? You now say, it is Atlantic. You just make your considerations. Depending on your options, what you can afford, go for it. Especially when I'm saying, especially if it is investment. You know, there are no other considerations when it is investment than your returns. If it is where you will live, you would have to also put some considerations in place. But this is the warning I usually give. If you cannot afford where you want to live, Oga, go get what you can afford right now. You are better off having real estate in your portfolio than having hopes in your portfolio. Hopes and real estate in your portfolio give you two different playouts. Okay?
Having real estate in your portfolio is better than you having hopes.
So if I had nothing to your balance sheet.
If I did now,
nothing.
If I did now, maybe after redeem camp, now they see land for me and I did do something there. It better pass make I dey wish.
If that is the most you can afford,
for go
for it. Do you know the worst thing that can happen is that you do what I call buy forward. Meaning that you would sometime soon, in the nearest future, sell that place
to
then buy some other places. But at least you will have something to sell that has added value. Your balance sheet is better as a human being. Beyond just, planning to. Planning to is of no significance, so naira and kobo wise in your balance sheet. I'm telling you. And it can even make you deplete your resources because you've kept some money aside. You are planning to add to it so that you can plan to do this. Oh, that money can enter voicemail. You know, and you'll be back to square one trying to put money together again. No, get into an instrument payment scheme, for example. If you know that, okay, this is how I get money periodically. Of course, watch our past videos. You have to research the company. You have to know about the project. You have to ask all your questions. You have to inspect and all of that. We are not saying just jump into transactions. No.
Do your due diligence.
Exactly. Exactly. You need to do your due diligence. But I'm saying that, hey, do something rather than just wishing and hoping and planning to, because you are caught up with not wanting what you can afford and not being able to afford what you want. It's a quagmire.
It's a quagmire, yes, it's a quagmire. Enginner Debo don't give us a very strong quote where we say now he go start, now we go use as a walking stick for today's program. He say yes, now be the walking stick for today's program. Let me tell you, because he talk say having hope in your portfolio, say you know what time, but make you even get real estate in your portfolio now be the best. So no matter how small the portfolio, no matter how small the real estate is, if you dey your portfolio, it better pass make it get hope. Having real estate in your portfolio is better than having hope in your portfolio. I wish we could go on this first break so that when we come back, most definitely we'll go open phone lines. Our Skype is available. You can Skype us. You see us. We see you now. Now we dey call Woro see Woro. You go see us. We go see you. No be only you go dey see us. So may we do Woro see Woro where they call Skype. Two of us go dey see ourselves. Meaning say, Enginner Debo go look you, even if that property where you want to show and say, see the property where I want buy, oh, help me check out more. We go see ourselves through the Skype media. Then you can also call in. You can call in. Yes, you turn down the TV, the volume on your TV set. You call in, then ask a question. And most definitely, the engineer is here to answer every question. So on that, if the MCR is ready, let's go on this break. We will be right back with Property Matter. Going away.
The best investment on earth
is earth. The issue of say make a person get house, make a person get land.
Property matter na serious business, so one of the best investments wey person fit get for life. You fit interact with us on top the show or talk to Enginner Debo through we phone numbers wey be 08173147589 and 08105434984. You still fit call us on top with Skype ID wey be WAP TV. Shey you be estate agent, surveyor, town planner, or you dey into furniture and you go like make the world sabi your level? Come advertise with us on top Property Matter wey dey shele for WAP TV for every Tuesday.
Yes, you're welcome back to the show. Before we go on that break, Engineer Debo, they ask us that question, say why you never become landlord, and what will be the excuse where you get, I mean, what you even do to become a property owner. Before we went on that break, also he been give us this quote when he say make we use as walking stick. Take the guide ourselves. Say having a property in your portfolio is better than having hopes in your portfolio. So we dey enumerate, we dey check one by each by one. What will be those things we don't make people still never become landlord? The excuses we make people still never become landlord. Okay, over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Again, we'll call on our viewers to get on the phone lines and call. You said we can get on Skype, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so get on
Skype
Skype.
ID, WAP TV.
Skype ID is there, WAP TV. Get on the phone and call us. Let's hear from you, really, because you really contribute a lot to today's program. Why have you not become a landlord? And what are you doing about it, or what are you going to do about it, okay? So the last time we talked about the fear of Omonile.
Of course.
People feel that, if I buy and all of that.
You collect it back from me. Is it not a loose investment?
It's a problem.
I make I kuku buy motor, they look my motor, jeje.
And I shared how they can get around that, okay? How they can get around that. Also, we talked about nearness. In terms of
Proximity
to where you want, because I've not been able to see somewhere that is close to where I want to stay or things like that.
Because Engineer Debo make you know like that himself, it discourage person at times. Maybe at the beginning, but if you get to one level, your mind say go come the day. But at the beginning, having a plot of land in after Ota, you understand? You go one day wonder, say, so I go to travel down to Ota, possibly once a month or twice a month. This distance go discourage person too.
True. I mean, like I always say, and we also said it before we went on break, if the place that you can afford is so far away, such that your quality of life would drop, do you understand, significantly if you should move to that kind of a place? Because moving to that place and then traveling to work and things like that, you don't have to. You don't have to live in your first house or even in your house. There are landlords who have properties all over the place. They don't live there.
I have one guy, in this is solo here.
Yeah.
He rents 3-bedroom flat for inside area carry estate.
Okay.
And na still landlord inside that is solo. No be landlord of 4-bedroom flat too. Twin building too. And I call the one that say,
that's his choice. He wants that money to be able to pay his rent and do a few other things.
Maybe na loan collect, nobody know. But where he won't pay back. But from other sources, some people even believe maybe the nature of his job. He must not acquire so much that they will start suspecting him. A lot of reasons, but he's still a tenant. Why is a landlord in the same suburb?
And the most important thing is this. You see, all other considerations, exempted. The truth of the matter is that there are people who are doing legitimate business. They have legitimate reasons. They have legitimate reasons why they don't want to live in the. Even for them, for some of them, it's investment reasons. I know people who, for example, have properties in Lekki Phase 1. They have properties in Lekki Phase 1 or in the Lekki corridor, but they stay on the mainland.
In Agungi.
They stay in Ogba. And they have property in Lekki Phase 1. So you can imagine that the rent they collect there would take care of their rent in Ogba and leave them with a lot of change.
What am I saying?
And so maybe for them...
My landlord is a tenant somewhere else. And we are renting his place and he tells us he's fine with it. Because at the point I feel, how do you go the rent? But now, I think for investment's sake, it's part of why people build house again.
Yes, now.
So it must you live there.
Not even now. It's been there forever, for ages. So it doesn't have to be that you live in your house or in your first house. Yes, you may desire, like a lot of people, to live in the house that you own. No problem. But provided, so I don't advise people, for example, you work in Lekki or VI, and then your house in this modern day, or in this day of Nigeria, your house is in Ifo or Songo, and you have to be going to work every morning.
Every day.
Godwin.
Good morning, Godwin.
Good morning. How are you?
We are fine, sir. You?
Okay. I'm on your program. Hello.
We're there with you, Godwin.
We can hear you, Godwin.
Okay. You said I'm watching your program, and you said why are we not having property?
Why are you not a landlord yet? And what are you doing about it?
I'm a landlord. Yeah.
Oh, great. Great.
I'm a landlord.
So what do you think? Why do you think people don't latch on to opportunities to become landlords?
It's finance.
Finance. So how did you surmount your own finance challenge?
Become a landlord.
Okay, I will tell you that.
Great.
I was a banker.
You said?
I was a banker.
Okay.
I took a loan to buy a house. That is past. I had a big compound. I built another place there. What I am saying, it's just why are we not landlords? Everybody will tell you, finance. Maybe it's not God's grace. Maybe I would have not been that, or wisdom. You know, a lot of my friends they will just leave, they pack their children and go abroad. But you know, every December they'll pay you up front plus my liver. I will buy property. I'll buy land. Wisdom. Then, if you have wisdom, you don't have the money. How do you cope? There should be a system. Now, I had this. That's why I even call this a different thing.
Okay.
I did a modern upstairs now, right? Before this COVID, something I moved up. I've not painted it. Now, the money I have, if we are not able, the money for school fees is eating it. You are not thinking of building now. Now I have a flat downstairs. I have not tiled. I have not. So why am I even calling? How do you come help and tile and people collecting the money? I don't care, but I want it to be rented. I have flats. Now this will be the fun. I don't have the money now, but if the house is ready, it's just the and the toilet, whatever that is remaining. Now it's there.
Okay,
Network is
let me
poor.
recap if I heard you, because it will be good that we are able to contribute to solving whatever challenge you have. You said you moved upstairs and then probably downstairs where you used to live. You still need some finishing to do for you to be able to let it out, right?
Yes, no, listen, the compound, the man bought a house for me. It's a very big one, so I now built another house. That is already on rent. You know, it's a 4-bedroom flat, but I have partitioned it to be 2-bedroom, 2-bedroom. Are you getting it?
Yes,
sir.
Okay. Now, God blessing. With a new thing I had, I was able to build a modern upstairs in that big space.
Okay.
I quickly rushed everything. Now I don't even have money to feed, not to talk of rent. The rent, if I can rent that place at the standard of the house would be about 700K. Now, how do I get money to finish that? The thing is there. I am up here hungry. The rent.
Okay, what I would suggest, the network is quite a challenge. My WhatsApp number will be displayed, okay, on the screen. You can hit me up on WhatsApp after this program and let us chat. I'll be better off with chatting. Let us chat after this program. That's my detail on the screen. If you send me a chat now, I may not be able to attend to it until much later in the day, but then just send me a chat, remind me Godwin and all of that, and then we can chat through. If I understand what the challenge you are facing, I think it shouldn't be so difficult to resolve, okay? So please chat me up. the network also was a challenge. We couldn't really hear you very clearly. But I think I picked one or two things from what you've said. But
when in friends,
yes, you know, the funniest thing is that he was saying finance, and then he said for him, he had wisdom. And his friends, if you ask them, if some of them are not landlords today, if you ask them why, they will say they didn't have money. But he said wisdom. Because the money they were using to travel, take vacation, you know, summer vacation.
Yes.
He was using it to invest and do stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
They even tell me, say, make
knowing
I take
that
all of them vacation.
Prioritizing.
Or son go for grammar, please.
You know, prioritizing what is important to him. And that is it. That's what if you watch some of our videos earlier where we talked about how you can, I think I talked about, is it 3 steps or so that will help you become a landlord? I mean, knowledge is part of it. The number one thing is desire. That's why he so much desired it. That's why he could close his eyes to going on vacation and putting the money into property investment till he's able to get a place for himself, you know. And then he went after wisdom. Desire will push you in the direction of getting knowledge that will make what you want to do possible, you know. So there's not a lot of reasons why we are actually treating this topic is a lot of reasons why people give can be resolved. Okay, there are sometimes more or less excuses, you know.
And I've come to even Enginner Debo, I don't know, but of late I can't realize even the so-called low earners, they get house well for a sherry, for a cartoon. Then you see the so-called big boys that we regard as big boys, then those big bankers and you know MDs, or they still there for area carry. Fine, they are living as tenants.
And when they retire, you'll be shocked how bad their situation will drop. Some of them can't survive in that area. They can't even pay rent again. 5 years after
because
retirement.
Where then they see now island.
5 years after retirement, most of them are down to ground zero and they become bush rat. You know what I call bush rat? Okete. You know, Yoruba say Tokete Badagbaton.
They would now be calling the ones in the bank.
When a bush rat is grown up, okay, it starts to feed
the younger folks.
The breast of the child will start breastfeeding the parents, you know.
Hello?
So.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning, Alao.
Yeah.
Alao, are you a landlord or tenant?
No.
So why are you not a landlord? Why are you not a landlord yet?
What are you doing about it?
You know, to be a landlord is required for so many things, especially capital. You know, before you can be a landlord, you need to get money first, to get land. So then you now plan how to build out on it.
But you are working now, Alao. Now you are working.
Yes, of course. It has to be about the income, the amount. You know, if you are not, at least let's assume that you are earning about 20 or 50,000 naira per month now, before you feed your family as a married man, before you buy food, before you pay school fees for your children, you know, then you will now think how to save some money to get land, before you think how to build house on it. So that is the problem. The problem of source of income, the amount you are earning per month. That will determine when and how to be a landlord.
Okay, thank you very much, Alao. I think we will close on these notes, possibly, if we can get any other call, maybe. You see, I need to re-emphasize the importance of desire. I need to re-emphasize it. I really cannot overemphasize it. You see, desire would help you overcome some of these
alibis.
Some of these challenges people are having. I don't want to call it an excuse. Some of these challenges people are having that is preventing them from becoming landlord. For example, somebody is earning 20,000 naira per month. Obviously, that will be challenging, especially as a family man. Okay. But you see, if you are desirous of owning your house, what it will do to you is that it will help you to set your antennas and to be conscious of opportunities. I think we'll have to drop it here.
Okay, thank you very much. We have to be conscious of opportunity. We have to grab opportunities. We'll see you again same time next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.